Trees help create precipitation. If there are not enough, this weather system will fail, along with all the species which rely on it. And some scientists have said the Amazon has already reached its tipping point. While we're on the subject of creatures and cows, it's very important that we discuss the balance of mammals on Earth. Humans, that's us, we account for 36% of mammals. The food that we eat in the form of other animals accounts for 60%. That's almost twice the amount of humans on Earth. 4% of mammals are wild. Did you guys hear those statistics? 60% of all mammals on Earth are agriculture that humans eat. Humans account for 36%, and wild critters only account for 4%. You see, as those are threatened, so are the livelihoods of humans. You're a part of these systems too. So who lives in the neighborhoods where factories are pumping toxins into the air, water, and soil? Which countries are already facing the adverse effects of humans' addiction to comfort?
And who are you with, and why are you guys out here tonight?
I'm here with Extinction Rebellion, and we're out here because of our government's criminal inaction on this ecological emergency.
So we're demanding that the government tells the truth, that they take immediate action, bringing carbon emissions to net zero by 2025, and that they allow for a citizens' assembly, so bringing back real democracy.
Everybody can be bought out for the right price. Even those who give a good speech and say they're going to do the right things never end up acting, and now we're too late. The time is too late. We need drastic action now, and I have yet to hear of any candidate who's willing to take drastic action.
Maybe you even signed petitions and wrote letters to your government officials. And this is all lovely, but the fact of the matter is that it's not worked. 30 years have passed since the IPCC formed and the science on climate change came out. And for 30 years, humans have petitioned for government action.
It's like they haven't done anything for the last 30 years regarding climate and ecological justice. So we don't really take a standpoint on that.
I care about your children and their children. And it's been a beautiful experience to see humans grow as a species. But the fact of the matter is that we need to look at where we're heading so that we can course correct. Those of you listening to this talk were likely born into a life of pleasantries and comfort, a world still rich with biodiversity. You were blessed with megafauna and natural landscapes that inspired and enriched your lives. The younger generations are experiencing a much reduced world in which natural, unspoiled landscapes are rare and wild animals and insects are becoming hard to find.
How old are you, and what kind of concerns do you have for if you have children?
My future, yeah. I'm almost 40 and I have 3 children, and I could be close enough to be a grandmother pretty soon. So the future of this planet is really important to me. Leaving this for future generations, and our inaction has already brought us to a tipping point.
Well, I'm not going to let myself have children. I'd love to. I had a dream that I had a baby one time, and I felt more love than I felt my whole life. But I just won't let it happen, because the world that they would be born into is absolutely disastrous. And it would be full of suffering and hunger and war, potential civil war, violence. So I wouldn't wish that upon them. I wouldn't wish that upon anybody, which again is why we're out here.
Almost every single bottom 100 country is African, Middle Eastern, Central American, or South American, with the exception of Brazil, where the Amazon is being destroyed. Right now, 30% of people on Earth are exposed to life-threatening heat for at least 20 days out of the year. And by 2100, that number could rise to 74% if we don't do something.
And I've definitely, we've seen the erratic weather patterns happen in Wisconsin. I definitely remember growing up and it'd be like, yeah, we'd get like an inch of snow every couple weeks in the winter, and then it would by March it would start to melt away. But now it's like we won't get snow for a really long time, and then suddenly, April comes and then it's like ice and freaking feet of snow, 30 below zero. And then crazy hot in the summer.
Every year we're new records. We're breaking new records for record heat, record floods, record fires, record drought. These are not a coincidence. It's because we're dying. The planet is dying. We're facing extinction.
We need you to care. This isn't just about us. This is about your children and your grandchildren having a livable climate and food to countries are paying off our politicians. They're putting your children's futures in the toilet.
And I will say I was sobbing when I learned about the bleaching of the Great Barrier Reef and when I saw reef bleaching and total die-off. So, you know, the inner child in me that wanted to visit the Amazon and the reefs is sobbing internally almost every day.
They only care about money. They don't care about what kind of earth they're leaving for the future generations. Please listen to the scientists. They say this is it. This is it. We need a change now. I know you said you didn't want flyers, but I'm going to leave some here anyway, and if you want to arrest me for littering, that's okay. This is just really important.
Extinction Rebellion.
We are Extinction Rebellion.
So individual action is great, but it's just reached a point where, you know, unless we take drastic, radical action, it's not going to change. So go to xramerica.com, look us up, find out about us, and find a way to get involved. Look for our flyers around town, find our contact information there. You know, join the rebellion. The more of us that there are, the more likely we can halt this crisis and really start to make reparations.
Maximum disruption, maximum love. It's time to be radical because the traditional way just hasn't worked. And we're finally seeing it now.